Hi guys, and welcome to our channel. Today I'd like to tell a little bit more about my new project. Well, I just finished it a couple weeks ago, my last project. It was Sega Genesis Portable. I'd just like to show you how it looks. Also, if you'd like to see some more video about how the system was made, you can find it on our channel. And like I said, it's a Sega Genesis Portable. It's done, it looks pretty good. And in my collection already has Sega Genesis, the first model I did, then GameCube, PlayStation 2, N64 I got, then GameCube I have, and that's my Sega Genesis second one. Now I'm about to start working on a Super Nintendo project. And like you guys know already probably, Super Nintendo, that's the first version, I call Super Nintendo Fat, being introduced in the United States in '91. Then 6 years later, in '97, they introduced it a smaller model. I mean, you can call Super Nintendo Slim, Super Nintendo Mini, whatever you can call, you can definitely see it's much smaller physical size. And of course, if you build it, if you start building a portable homemade unit, of course you're gonna work on with model the one has a smaller motherboard, and this guy has a smaller motherboard. Also, I brought a couple cases to show you. Well, I'm not saying that that's the cases that's gonna work. I'm just I have those cases laying around. I was gonna show you what I may use it. That case from old router. This case is a factory made AG85. It's a pretty good case actually. The same case I used it on my first Sega Genesis. It turns alright, but Super Nintendo has pretty big cartridge compared to Sega Genesis, and it's gonna look kind of weird, you know, with cartridge. I'm not saying it's almost the same size as a housing. I mean. But most likely I'm not going to use that housing. Then also I have a frame from 5-inch screen. Why I brought that thing here to just show you. For example, if I want to use this case, before I even start cutting and gluing, I will leave it that frame to see how 5-inch screen will fit in that case. And actually this case is pretty good. It feels like it will have plenty of room to put a D-pad and control buttons and shoulders, but I may use that case, I may use it something else. Anyway, let's come back to Super Nintendo Mini. And this guy, I mean, I already did open it. I did some tweaks a little bit. When you open it, it's holding by 4 screws. I just want to show you guys a little bit more details. That case, if you decided to do your own handheld portable, you will see it's not that super hard. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do that. Anyway, and when you open it, the system's gonna look like that. It has a pretty small motherboard. And like I said, I already did pretty much removed everything. I'm gonna show you. That's a cooling sink with a voltage regulator. If you remove the whole board, the board is pretty small actually. Because like I said, I was going to do some trimming then later. Pretty much all components already removed what is not necessary, and what I was going to remove it anyway. Like the power jack with connector frame, I'm not really needed. I remove it. The AVI connector, I'm not really needed. Well, when I finished it with my housing for Super Nintendo Portable, I may use that connector, reattach it back, I mean in the housing, to be able to use a TV out. That's a metal shell, I mean shelving. I may use it some of portion of that. Then controller ports, I mean I may cut it and use it second player controller if I decided if my system is going to be 2-player capable. All my system, what I did, I mean like the Sega Genesis, you see, it has a second connector. But to be honest, mostly all my system I play by myself or so. I'm not really sure if I need it. But like I said, when I start working the case, then it will be more, I will know more details if I was going to build a system with 2-player capable or single-player capable. That's not commission. I'm doing that as a hobby or for myself, pretty much. All components what I remove it, I do not recommend to throw it away, because you're not really sure which component you're going to use it. Then also I did unsoldered cartridge slot. I mean, not cartridge slot, I'm sorry, cartridge connector, because the connector will be relocated, and it's right here. Power switch, which has some issues, and that power switch is big and bulky. I saw before people still using original switches for power, but in my opinion, these days you can find it much smaller, much lighter power switch. That original big guy is not really necessary. And reset switch. Reset switch, I mean, back 20 years ago it was fine. These days you can find it a micro reset switch, which will be 5 times smaller and probably 2-3 times lighter. Pretty much in the end, I got a board like that. It's probably 3.5 inch or 4 inch width, and maybe close to 6 inch lengthwise. All connectors in the back which was sticking out, I kind of trim it a little bit to keep it low profile, because when I'm building, for example, if I'm using this case, I mean, you can see the board, it will fit. But to be honest, I mean, I will look at already, and almost 1/4 inch I can trim it from both sides in the lengthwise, and the width on this side I can trim it right where the controller ports was attached. I mean, the siren pins. I can trim it right here, and that's about close to 1/2 inch or so. From this, from front end and from rear end, if I can call it that way, I can cut it probably another close to a little over 1/2 inch, maybe 5/8. I can cut it. Then the board will be much smaller. I mean, then you can trim it. The board will fit even this case. But like I said, I'm not sure which case I'm gonna use it. In all my cases, all my systems, what you guys saw, or you're gonna see, start looking my videos after this one. I mean, it's a custom-made housing cases. You see, like this guy. I don't use any 3D printers. I don't do plastic molds. I mean, plastic injection. It's a handmade case, and actually it turns pretty good. Then another thing, and already some people ask me what configuration the cartridge will be. If it will be stick on top, or if it will go on on the front like Sega Genesis. And in my opinion, well, first of all, when the cartridge goes on the front, it also works as a little sun shader if you play the game system in a sunny day. If you or anyone, or like myself, is going to design it which cartridge hold in the front, on top actually, then when you play, I mean, you will wiggle that system one way or another. And the cartridge games, especially it's kind of old cartridges, old connectors, you can see that connector has already all kind of oxidation. When it's holding only on a cartridge slot connector, you see how wiggle is, how it's not stable. In that case, when you play and you wiggle the game, it may reset or it may crash. Most likely, well, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't decide it yet how it's gonna do, where it's gonna cartridge slot will be located. You see, like this guy, I was planning using this case for Nintendo 64, and also the cartridge slot will be on the bottom. Mostly my system cartridge slot on top. Yeah, I mean on the front panel. I said on top. Well, that's my little update for what my new project is. Pretty much you guys can see, I mean, to do your own homemade handheld, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You have to have some patience and some little experience with soldering iron, that case to remove all connectors. If you guys have any questions, idea, concerns, leave it comment, we go from there. If you decided to make your own system, a handheld, that will be really nice. Actually, I'd like to see some progress and some projects you guys going with. Well, I hope you like this video. If you do, thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any future video, subscribe. We go from there. Thank you and bye bye.